Hey, y'all, Alyece Smith here, and welcome to the Socially Awesome podcast, where we empower mompreneurs to implement simple social media strategies into their businesses and elevate their online presence. I'm a mompreneur of three, an affiliate marketer, a network marketer, an influencer, a social media marketing agency owner, and your personal guru. I am here to give you tips, tricks, and tools that you need to build your social media business. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome back to the Socially Awesome channel. Alyece Smith here, and I am so ready to dive into today's episode, the social mindset, understanding the psychology behind social media. So why do we post on social media? Why are people so drawn to it? The fundamentals of like word to mouth marketing are still the same, but now people do that sharing on an array of different channels. It's not just call your mama on your landline and tell her what you found, right? The content we share on various channels differs. So let's think about this, because what you share on Instagram might not be the same that you share on Facebook, might not be the same that you do on TikTok or Twitter. We have different platforms that we can utilize and share in different ways. So this is so exciting. This might be 2 episodes. I have no idea. I'm just going to go. We're going to just dive right in. So let's get started. The first reason I feel like people share on social media is to bring valuable and entertaining content to other people. Entertainment kind of being like the underlined word in that statement. Value-driven content has come and been more relevant in the last 5-ish years. Especially post-COVID, because after post-COVID, people are like, I want to know what you're about. What are your pillars? I want to connect with you. I don't have, people have gotten to this point where like, I don't have time to waste in my life. I'm not wasting it with people I don't, if it doesn't serve me any longer. So people really care more about the value now than before. 5 years ago, everything on social media was super salesy, but entertainment has always been a huge piece of social media. I mean, how many of you have watched a fight go down on Facebook and you read all the comments? Guilty. I've done it. Okay. I have done it. Like all night long. And I'm like, this drama, I'm not in the drama. I don't know the people in the drama, but they just put it all out there for us to read for free. Right. So I have really tried really hard to disconnect, because you can get sucked in. TikTok's the same thing. Scroll hole, right? You're just watching and you look up, it's like 3 a.m. What just happened? So entertainment is a huge piece of that. The second reason is to define ourselves. If we have a personal brand, whether you're in business or not, you have a personal brand. You have a personality, you have a way that you dress, a way that you talk, you have values as a person. And the content that we share on social media reflects our identities. It's a way of being different, of being unique, of being yourself, right? So it's not a surprise that I think I read 70% of people say they share on social media to communicate who they are and what they care about. It's our platform, right? It's our own personal TED Talk, and your audience is open to it, right? Number 3 would be to grow and nourish our relationships. So people also share as a means to make and maintain connections. So I can tell you, and raise your hand virtually if you can attest to this, but I'll be out and about in town and I see someone that I haven't seen in 10 years. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how is the baby doing? I haven't talked to that girl in 10 years. How would I have known she had a baby? Saw it on social media, right? Congratulated her on social media. I was part of knowing about that baby. I was part of the people celebrating that baby, right? So the New York Times actually said that 73% of people share online to meet others with shared interests. 78% of people share because it enables them to communicate with people they wouldn't otherwise stay in touch with. So that's the key to the story there, is that I hadn't seen her in 10 years in person. I never would have stayed in touch with her. We were good friends in high school, love her to death, but do I pick up the phone and call her every day? We might have lost touch, right? So I think that's one reason. This is a total side note, ADHD here, but I think that's one reason my high school class reunion was such a disappointment. Think about it. I already knew what all of them were doing, all about their lives. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, look at her, she looks so different. I saw her on social media like an hour before the event. Just saying, totally disappointed by my class reunion. Just FYI, I don't know that I'll go again, but that was totally off track. Anyway, number 4, to fulfill ourselves. So quite simply, we share because we enjoy it. It makes us feel connected to the world, right? Other people can celebrate our wins with us. We can help celebrate other people's wins. Number 5 is to get the word out about causes or brands. So we also share content online that we show support for a cause, to inform people what are our principles. So think about it. If you don't know this, if this is your first time running across one of our episodes, one of the reasons, or the absolute reason that my brand is spelled differently is because I'm an autism mom. And being an autism mom was one of the pushes I need to be an entrepreneur, because I needed the flexibility in my schedule. So I very often share content around autism awareness and autism acceptance, even though it's not what I do for a living, because I'm educating people. I'm helping other autism moms know you're not alone. Some of them that haven't either gotten a diagnosis yet or did and don't know where to start are getting value from me. And I am educating the public as a whole about the signs of autism so that these children could quit being labeled as bad or different, or, any of the terms I don't like to use. But there is a whole psychology behind it. And I use my social media presence to get that word out about that cause. The same thing about brands. Think about some of the detrimental things that have happened to brands because of social media. A brand, like, I could go on and on and on. There was a whole thing with Carhartt last year, Nike the year before that. All the things about the different milks and the cows and all of these things that we wouldn't have known about if it wasn't for social media. So it can be good and it can be very, very, very bad. So you've got to make sure that you're protective of your brand and you watch what goes out about your social media presence. But that is a huge piece of the psychology about why people share, is because they want to inform people about their principles, their beliefs, their ideas. They want to advocate. So there's a lot of different people that are involved in social media sharing. And I'll wrap up with this. So let's think about a couple of the different types of people. There's like 6 different types of people that share on social media. So there are people that share content to be helpful. Usually they do this on Facebook or email, right? Because there's different platforms for each one. There are the people that are doing it for their career. They're building professional reputations. This would be like LinkedIn posts, right? There is kind of like the hipster, share cutting edge and creative content, building their identity. So this is going to be like Instagram, Facebook, possibly Twitter. There's like boomerangs. So we share content to get reaction from audience. We seek that validation. It's exciting. We want to watch. There are connectors. So people that share content to stay connected with others and make their plans, right? So how many times have you been invited to an in-person event via Facebook event? Somebody makes an event page. It's like today's invitation. So how would you have known about that event if not? I totally missed a family member's bridal shower like a couple weeks ago because they sent me a Facebook event invite and for an in-person event. And I get hundreds of notifications a day. It was totally missed. Totally missed it. I wish I'd have got an invite in the mail. I'd have been there, but I looked back and I'm like, I missed that. So it's a good and a bad thing here for me, especially if you're someone who's on social media and you have so many notifications, you can totally get lost. And then there's selective people. So there's people that put a lot of thought into what they share, who they share it with. They might not post this regularly. They might be super selective, but they probably have a really large know, like, and trust factor with their audience because their audience knows they're not just going to throw random stuff out there. They're very, very, very connected to it. So think about this. Think about the psychology of social media. Why are you sharing? What profile are you? How are you sharing with people? How are you making sure you're tapping into the psychology of social media when you're sharing? So make sure, no matter where you're watching this, listening on the podcast or watching this on Facebook or YouTube, you take a screenshot, post it in your stories and tag me. I will share it with my audience. It's the number one way to get and grow your audience is to get in front of other people's audiences. Also, if you're not already in Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs, in my show notes is the Facebook group link. Join us. We do weekly tips, tricks, and trainings to help you with your business online. And as always, make it simple, make it social, and make it awesome. Thanks, guys. Hey, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I'm Alyece Smith, your host, and let me tell you how you can get a free social media audit from me. Make sure that your profile is optimized and you're ready to build. Take a screenshot of you listening to this episode, throw it in your stories and tag me. You can find my handle in the show notes. I will share it to my entire audience, and you will be entered to win one of the 5 free audits that I'll be doing every single month. Number 2, if you found any value out of this episode or any of my episodes at all, please feel free to leave a review. It is the best compliment you can give. Lastly, make sure you check out the link to get into my free community, Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs. It's in the show notes. We go live in there weekly with guest trainings and more. Until next time, make it simple, make it social, and make it awesome.